Georgia is the state of Georgia is considered the home of the July hound, and that's where I got my strain of dogs, and I've had them for about 8 generations. I can fix you out in 8 generations on most all of my dogs, especially on the dam side, and then I'd breed to a proven sire dog. I'd find out some dog that was old enough that his pups was running, and they'd have some qualities that I'd like, say mouth or intelligence or determinations, and a dog that passed the qualities on.
Wait to Edward again about the dog, the one you just told him.
Oh, Dorrie?
Yeah.
Well, I owned her, see, and I got her from him when she was a pup. And I kept her, what, year and a half?
Yeah, possibly.
And then I let him have her back. And we just talking about she was sharp. That dog was smart. There wasn't no two ways about it.
Well, what'd you say, Seaman, about her?
She could tell by the way a dog barked, her kennel mates or running mates, what they were after. And Dorrie knew that we wasn't out to run deer. And when Dorrie came back, you better say that those dogs are after a deer. They're not after a wolf, or they're not after a fox, because she could tell by the way they barked what they were after. And I wasn't always as smart as Dorrie was. I'd try to make her go back and run the game. I'd say, Dorrie, there's no deer in this area. They're not after a deer. And maybe I could get her to go back, and she'd come back again, and she'd just look up at you, and you better believe what she is trying to tell you then, because she'd be right. She is a real intelligent dog, and she was a fast dog, and she learned that if she didn't put out too much effort at barking, it reserved her energy for a little more speed, and she liked to catch up with game. And she'd sure cut down on her mouth when she got close to game.
No, it's not mine.
Oh, no,
No, I didn't say. I thought you meant one over Dent County. I've got one local like that too. The juries, or
it's Jerry's or Gary's, I don't remember which.
it has to be juries because he's the one that.
Big blackback July.
I guess it is.
And there's one small red one.
Because Gary ain't got no gun thing. Well, that jury's box sitting there.
I bet it's on here. I know that. There's one kind of a muddy look.
Oh, we'll tell him then.
Okay. You develop affections for them? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
You care about them the way.
Oh.
I mean, are they pets? They're not really. They don't seem to be.
Well, yes and no. That's just like the most of mine that I turned loose here this morning, you can't catch. You never can put your hands on. I can just drive up here and holler at them, and they'll just come and jump in that truck this morning, that after the other. And they are, to a certain extent, a lot of it. Now, to me, it seems like, and mine and Seaman dogs, a July hound loves their master, and he's about the only one to care for. That's the way I look at it. And to me, they're just pets. You know, I can go down the pen and they'll just jump, you know, play with me. And I've sold people dogs, and I'd tell them, I'd say, now that dog, they'd be right there with me. I'd say, you don't think that he's shy, but when you get him out by himself, it's going to be a different story. And sometimes I've had to go well down to Donovan. I'd have to go, you know, 100 miles or so and catch one for them that I'd sold them, but they'd turn loose and they couldn't catch. And you be around him, and my dog's here. They'll just come up to me, and you're standing here and just act like they ain't, you know, don't amount to nothing. But that's the reason I've got one lost over there at Dent County now, is on the count they can't catch her. And I never could find her.
And my dogs are like Edward's. They're my pets, but they're not everybody's pets. And they want to hunt from me, and they're not they're not all like a lot of other dogs, just anybody's dog that'll hunt with them. They want to hunt for me, and they want to do what they think, and they try to do what they think that I want them to do. A dog tries to please his master. I think maybe any dog does. It may be a poodle. They try to please their master.
You said that like
Generally speaking.
Even a poodle.
Well, a poodle, and oftentimes I oftentimes wish that my dogs was as smart as a Feist. Now you think a Feist is one of the smartest dogs that there is. You can put them into a crate, or put them into a situation where the smartest one gets out the quickest, and a Feist will. A fox terrier will come out of there. He'll be the smartest.
Well, that's
dog.
the way I pick my hound pups to keep.
Yeah.
You take something with scent, something they like to eat or like that, and let them be laying out there asleep. You just put that out there, and you'll notice the ones with the best nose, they discover that first. You know, it comes out on them. I just like a dog getaway.
I do the same thing. Before my puppies gets their eyes open, maybe I'll start feeding them milk or something. And I'll walk in there, and as we all know, a pup sleeps probably 9/10 of his time. But I'll walk in there, and I'll set that milk down, and I'll see which pup, maybe before he gets his eyes open, smells that milk first. And then when they first start eating, first time I feed them, I'll go, "Eat, eat, eat, eat." And then when I go in to feed them the second time, you go, "Eat, eat." And every pup will know what you mean. They associate that with something good. And then I make a sound kind of like a horn, see, because my dogs are all trained to a horn. But I'm like Edward. I pick out the dogs that smells that the quickest, and the dogs that responds and gets to me and finds that food first. Those are the ones that I pick out. And I know I let Edward have. There was a litter of 8, and I let Edward have pick and choice of 2 pick and choice I'd bred to his dogs, and he come up there, and he got there before I was gone when he got there. And I said, "Now, Edward, I know the smartest dog in there. I know the burliest dog in there." And something else I told him that I already knew. He said, "I don't too." He said, "I've already figured that out." And I said, "Well, which one's the smartest?" And we agreed on that one. And I said, "Well, which one's the burliest?" What I mean with confirmation to stand more hardships of running. I said, "I've got my idea which one it is." He said, "I do too. I know which one it is." And he picked it. And he picked the one that I thought was smartest, and he carried both dogs off because we'd had a gentleman's agreement that he got.
Sarge Wallace wouldn't sell her at no price.
No,
he got her.
He picked the smartest one, and I guess she was the smartest. Most all of them are still living, and it was an outstanding litter of pups. It was a cross that worked real well.
And you all know where all of these dogs are.
Yeah, we know where they all are.
And what happened to them and like that, you know.
And the one that we thought was the burliest, that would make the best, the stoutest running dog, why, he's at stud now.
Yeah, he's held in Missouri, and then that Jip was talking about, she's down at Bastrop, Texas. I sold her to a guy down there.
And he's been at stud since he was about a year old, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Shack Seaman. And he's. But Edward and I agreed on the way to pick them, and we was both right. But we both let the dogs get away from us, those 2. I don't know whether it's good or whether it's bad. You can't let your friends have a bad dog.